The wheels have fallen off here.
Yeah, it's a disaster. It really looks like the house of a toddler.
She's a newborn.
But what do you think we actually would have done?
If your visa didn't get renewed, we'd stay here in America and you'd go back to Canada.
So the question then becomes, when you get raw chicken, what should the restaurant do?
Comp the entire meal and it is not close. Welcome back to another episode of Just Alex. Happy holidays. Cheer is in the air. And here at the... Do we call this the Fugman household?
I have a question.
What?
Happy holidays. When is the earliest you can start saying it, and when is the latest you can say it?
Well, you can't say it past January 1st, I don't think. I think like January 1st, it's over.
But you transition to Happy New Year?
Oh, yeah, totally. 100%.
And then how long when can you start saying Happy Holidays? And then if you're saying it ends January 1st, how long do you say Happy New Year for?
I think you say Happy New Year all of January.
You give Happy New Year a month? That's ridiculous.
Or at least like the first week or two.
I think first week, no brainer. I think the second week, you're kind of stretching it.
I'm not going to be mad if I get a Happy New Year the third week. I'm not going to be mad.
I'm going to be like, yo, you got to get something new to focus on.
Well, I'm not going to be focused on the new year.
But if someone's coming in. And when do you think you should start with the Happy Holidays?
I think that Thanksgiving to me is not in part of the Happy Holidays. But I do think when you start saying Happy Holidays, you're also saying I'm shutting my laptop. I think they very much so go hand in hand. Like, have you seen those memes where people are like, Happy Holidays, and we'll touch base after the new year? That vibe, I think that starts around Thanksgiving. Okay,
so you're saying you start the Happy New Year after Thanksgiving?
I guess. Or the week of Thanksgiving. I don't start throwing Happy Holidays around until December.
Okay.
You?
I think that into the Thanksgiving week, it's hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Then Thanksgiving week, Happy Thanksgiving. And then I think the week after Thanksgiving, you say, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And then after that, we could transition to Happy Holidays. Happy Holidays, you ride till Jan 1. Jan 1, you go Happy New Year. Happy New Year, really a week of it. I think past a week is a bit of a stretch.
And if anyone breaks any of those rules, are you mad or?
No, but maybe some judging.
Oh, gosh, I don't agree. Not around the holidays.
Well, that's the whole point is you judge. The holidays are done, so you're allowed to judge. The judge-free era ends.
No, I don't think so. One bit. I think it's all fluid. I'm good with whatever you want to say. I'm good with. I don't care. I don't care when you start saying it. Listen, I'm down to start saying Happy Holidays around October when Halloween hits because that's also a holiday.
Yeah, you don't respect boundaries and holidays as we've learned over time.
Yeah, because I'm a jolly lady. Oh, and I've watched 2 Christmas movies. Like, I'm in the spirit.
Yeah.
Guys, the house is a mess. The wheels have fallen off here.
It really looks like the house of a toddler.
She's a newborn.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
And so, but here's the thing that we're trying to do, because the nanny, so we had a temp nanny who was filling in until we found our permanent nanny. And when she started filling in, it was 2 months ago. And we said to ourselves, like, we'll definitely have a nanny, in place by December 1st. And like, we just didn't interview anybody. And so now the nanny's done, but like, she was lovely, but it is nice. Like, I just like love having Tater for December. Like, it's the holidays. I want to dress her in Christmas stuff. I just want to hold her. And with that, the house is completely fallen apart. And for the first time in my life, like my goal is to clean it tonight. But usually the house being this messy would stress me out. And I'm really detached from it. I'm really just like embracing it.
I like your approach to patience around the house, around like, or giving us, what's the word you use? Giving us grace.
Do you know what that means? Because I fear you've never heard the term.
Is grace a lady? Giving us grace. Isn't great? I feel like grace is a word in the English dictionary. A word for patience.
Do you know this line? Say grace. Who's Grace? The Blessing. Do you know what movie that's from?
No. Who's Grace? Who is Grace?
It's my middle name.
All right.
You've never seen
Julie's
Christmas
middle name.
Vacation?
I love the holidays. I'm out on Christmas movies.
Like, but have you ever seen The Grinch or Christmas Vacation?
Yeah, I think they're like all a snooze fest.
You think Christmas Vacation is a snooze fest?
Christmas Vacation, not like, I know that I'm gonna get roasted for this, but like, yeah, like, I don't like Christmas movies. Like I liked Elf the first like 2 to 3 times I saw it, but like I don't know. I find Elf, Priscilla said Elf. I just like find it like kind of a little weird. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't like these movies. I don't like Christmas movies.
Have you seen
I
Four
said it.
Christmases with Vince Vaughn?
So I've seen that one once, and like I definitely want to watch that one again. Like that's one I think I can get through. And when I say get through it, like I'll probably still be on my phone for like 75% of it.
I just love them.
Yeah. Like those 2 Christmas movies you watched on Sunday, like I needed like NFL Red Zone on my laptop to like be in the room.
It was The Holiday and The Family Stone. Which I can't finish The Family Stone because the minute it starts to get sad is when I get off of it. So I probably watched like 70% of it. But I know it's like a classic, but I won't finish it. Okay. What were we talking about beforehand? Not beforehand, before we got on that subject. The house being messy, this house, yes. It's just a pigsty. But we're just embracing that. And giving ourselves grace, yes. And just like loving this time with Tater, because this is what I said to Harrison yesterday, was like, I'm not going to look back at this time and think like, oh, the house was so clean. Oh, I got to go on my walks every day. And like, no, I'm going to look back on it and be like, wow, we had so much fun, the 3 of us as a family while she was a newborn, right? Mm-hmm. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so a moment for you, a round of applause. Harrison's big news. So we were riding in the car on the way to the airport. I was dropping you off. No, we were Ubering to the airport.
Oh yeah, I
were
wanted
going.
to share this news to go live on the podcast, but you wouldn't let me.
And he says to me that he's got huge news that impacts me. And I'm like, oh, like, what is it? And he makes me guess. And what were my guesses? I was guessing subjects.
Yeah, I don't know if you're the best guesser.
Well, I got it, though. I
Okay, you did. I'm wrong.
got it.
I take that back.
Yeah.
I take that back.
And the news was Harrison's visa has been renewed. Now, that might sound like an easy feat to us that are just spoiled and live in America and think, what did you just like paperclip and staple and like it got approved? But no, it's very hard to get your visa approved and to stay here. What a privilege to work in America.
I think America is the best country in the world, and that's why I choose to live here.
The American dream.
Yeah, I've been applying for visas since 2010. I got my first visa. It was a student visa for an internship, and then I think since then I probably had 4 other visas. So I have gone through the process.
And now you're on a visa called a...
I don't know if I want to tell the internet what visa I'm on.
Why?
I don't know. Just like I feel like I'd rather not share that.
Is that like a... Like what could go wrong there?
I don't know.
Well, explain the visas to us. What are the options? Student visa? Working?
So there's the student visa, then there's the TN visa, then
Which
there's...
is what?
TN, I don't know if this is going to be interesting for people.
Well,
That's like a visa that I think is under NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, that like creates a pretty clean process for Canadians to come up. But I think that one you can use for a maximum of 5 years. And then I did an L1B, which is an international transfer visa. And then I did, a lot of people do the H1B. I have not done that one yet. And there was one other that I've been on. And the current one, which I did 3 years on, and now I just got my 3-year renewal.
So for 3 more years, you're safe.
Yeah. I yes. For 3 more, you got to follow the rules and do the thing, but.
And then if we didn't get renewed, Harrison and I, he asked me what would happen. And I said, of course, Tater and I, we'd stay here in America and you'd go back to Canada.
Yeah. We do the dual faith household and dual country raising.
Yeah. We would just ship her back and forth. I'd stay in Austin. He'd live in Vancouver.
But what do you think we actually would have done?
If your visa didn't get renewed?
Yeah.
I think we would live in Vancouver. I don't know. We'd go. You mentioned like London would have been fun. We just would have moved somewhere abroad. Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, so in London you don't have to have a visa. Would we both have to have a visa?
So I think that Canada has a treaty around visas with the UK that you can go there for a year pretty easily. I don't know what the US standard with it is.
Okay, so we would have just moved somewhere together as a family.
I think what would have happened is we would have gone to Vancouver and we would have moved there like in February, and we would have like lived in Whistler and done Whistler February, March. I don't think Vancouver would have worked because I think we would have gone there and I think you would have like, we would have kind of done the winter in Whistler and you would have loved that, and then we would have rolled into the summer in the city and between Whistler and you would have loved that. But then I think like September would have hit and the rain would have hit, and like I think September, October, November just like would have had you running. And so I think that we would have had to get creative with it. But have we ever talked about our tentative plans to move to Europe this summer?
Well, hold on a moment for Vancouver. I don't know that
Okay.
that's true. I love Vancouver.
But you haven't dealt with Vancouver in the rain, and like I love Vancouver, but like that rainy season is rough.
That's interesting. I just trust you. Like I'll just lean on you on that because I always told you I would live in Vancouver, but I said when we moved to if we moved to Vancouver, it's gonna be because you said like that's the move.
Yeah. Well, when we moved here, the tentative plan was we were going to do like whatever 9 months here and then 3 months in Whistler over the summer.
Which I still very much want to do.
You really think we're still going to do that?
I don't know. I'd love to do it.
I think that that's so not going to be it. I think that our 3 month summers here are going to be very different.
What do you think we're going to do? Well, listen, our plan was, you guys, we wanted to go because while Tate's little, we thought, because right now it's like we go out with her a lot, right? Like we take her to restaurants and take her to coffee shops and things because most of the time, if you time it with her feeding, she sleeps. And so we did want to go to Paris or London for like 2 months next year at some point.
Yeah, my gut is we'll end up doing like a month in Paris, a month in Whistler, and then probably a month of the summer here.
Love it. I love it. I think it would be great. I'm excited.
Yeah, and if we like get an apartment in Paris and then we can bounce around and see other spots in France and other countries, I think it'll be really cool. Have we talked about that before? That
What?
was the plan?
No.
That we were going to spend the summer in Paris?
I don't think so. And even if we have, we're just touching base on it a little bit more. Let's talk about Roe. If you're curious about Ozempic or Wegovy, but not sure if your insurance covers it, that's where Roe comes in. Roe can help you understand if GLP-1s are right for you and your goals, but that's just the beginning. Roe members have support throughout the process. That means no insurance paperwork, and you'll have access to your provider on demand if you have any questions. Plus, you can sign up online from the comfort of your own home, which means no waiting for an in-person doctor's appointment, no commute to the doctor's office, and no waiting rooms, which is music to my ears, you guys. Plus, join over the 250,000 people who have already chosen Roe to access GLP-1s. Go to ro.co/Alex to find out if you're covered for free. That's ro.co/Alex. For boxed warning and full safety information, go to ro.co/safety, prescription only.
How is traveling the second time around versus the first time around?
With a baby?
Yeah.
Okay, because we went to LA. And it's so much easier. It's so funny. It's like sometimes you just got to do these things once and then you got a handle on it.
It made me laugh how much we packed the first time and how much I brought on the plane the first time. And then the second time realizing, all right, like all you need is like a couple diapers, a bottle, and the pumping stuff.
I've gotten some messages from some people asking, like, okay, how do you travel with bottles? What's the sanitizing process? XYZ. And it was trial and error, right? Like, I didn't read up on how to do it. I just sort of figured out. And the thing that works the best is take like a mason jar of milk and then take 3 or 4 bottles and just get like use a clean bottle each time. Get the bottles dirty. Get to the hotel room. Get soap. Wash them all. Order a kettle of hot water. Sanitize them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how you do it.
You did phenomenally leading the charge on the travel and logistics.
I'm
the
her
roles
feeder.
have never been more reversed than when we started dating. And I felt like the travel and logistics were completely led by you. And now with her, like the travel and logistics are just like, sorry, travel and logistics used to be led by me and now they're completely led by you.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm in charge of her Milky. We call her Miss Milky.
That's the most important thing.
And like, I do feel like I really own the entire process of getting her fed.
But you also do, like, you've been coordinating, ordering the snooze to wherever we're staying. And I feel like you're like, you're taking all the important things. Now, semi-pivot. I have a story that happened in LA that I didn't tell you that I wanted to say for the pod.
Harrison, learning the term save it for the pod.
I saved it for the pod.
Wow.
So when I had like a holiday guys dinner with 2 friends.
Love it.
So 3 of us went out for food. And we went to a restaurant. I'm forgetting the name. Let me pull it up. We may want to beep it. But we may want to cut that out. So, and this place, like you walk in, the vibe is awesome. We get sat down, like they've got the nameplates at the tables. We sat like the nameplate above our tables where Frank Sinatra used to sit. Like whether or not that's true, I just loved it. The operating 10 out of 10 vibe and ambiance. So we go, do the whole ordering situation. And for our mains, we got the veal parmesan and we got the specialty chicken dish they have. And the chicken dish comes and my buddy Alex is like, Harrison, like, you got to try this chicken. So I take a bite and it feels really chewy and I don't think of it. I'm like, you know what? I got a bad bite because he comments again on the chicken and I go back and I try it again. I'm like, man, like I just don't really like it. It feels like kind of fatty chicken. And then maybe 5 minutes goes by and our buddy Jake just like pauses. Is like, that chicken is raw. And it must have like, because he took half the chicken. And so like you could see it cut down the middle and like the top, like if the chicken was like, let's say 3 inches from top to bottom, 2 of the inches were raw. And like, not like kind of, is it cooked, is not cooked, raw. So the question then becomes, so we tell them, and it was bad.
Was the waitress like, whoa?
They were definitely like, whoa. And the manager was awesome and like made a couple jokes about it. But then the question became, when you get not undercooked chicken, when you get raw chicken, what should the restaurant do?
Comp the entire meal, and it is not close.
So it was a $500 meal.
Okay.
For the 3 of us. You think they should have comped the entire thing?
And there's no questions. Did you eat any of the chicken? Yes, you had bites of the chicken.
I had a full bite of the chicken.
Like the meal needs to be immediately comped.
Yeah, they only comped the dish and brought dessert.
No, they brought dessert. No. Yeah. Okay, did you say something?
No, we debated what was the appropriate action because like if it was an expensive meal, there were a lot of drinks.
I don't care if you had a $3,000 bottle of wine. The meal gets comped. You ate raw chicken.
And what was also really like this, what's so weird is the service was so good, but then where it gets weird is like for example, like we ordered the same weirdly, like Alex was only having beers, Jake was only having tequila soda, and I was only having Aperol spritzes. So we each had, call it like, 2, 3, 4 of them each. They knew our drink order. They didn't even send around the drinks. They didn't comp around the drinks. Funny enough, they knew our drink orders to the point that you called and had a round of drinks delivered from Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't comp that round.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. I agree.
No, and especially if especially because of the caliber of the restaurant, like because they have Frank Sinatra, above, is obviously a place that cares a lot about their identity. And I think their reputation, And so I think of course you comp the meal, the entire meal.
Yeah. We weren't like, we didn't have a feel on it. So I figured I'd bring it to the pod and see what you and the internet had to think.
You didn't have a feel on the raw chicken?
I think like the total did like add back was like $75.
No, I mean, the manager comes over and he says, guys, sorry for the inconvenience. Can't believe you took a bite out of raw chicken. We have completely calmed your entire meal, and please come back and see us.
And it's weird because the manager did text me, and
did you tell him that you had food poisoning?
No.
Did you get food poisoning?
No, but
No.
I mean, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
He texted me. Mr. Fugman, Oliver here from I just want to reach out and offer another sincere apology for our lapse in service and hospitality that night. I take full responsibility for that. If you ever need anything, please never hesitate to reach out. All the best. And it's like, the service was fucking amazing. This Oliver guy was fucking amazing. But like, you really only comp the dish?
Let's talk about a new brand, Quince, that I am so obsessed with, you guys. I just got in these, they're these shoes, and they're Birkenstock lookalikes, but they look more high quality and they are so comfortable. I am obsessed with them. Also, I have 2 of their cashmere sweaters. The quality is unbelievable and the price is incredible. So Quince lets you treat your loved ones and yourself to everyday luxury at affordable prices. Something everyone needs in their closet. In my opinion, Quince's iconic Magnolian cashmere sweaters, which start at $50. They are so cute. I wore my black one with the black skirt this weekend. Seriously, like the quality looks incredible, and just for $50. Or the ultimate year-round gifts. Check out their 14-karat gold jewelry, Italian leather handbags, and European linen sheet sets. Whatever you're looking for, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. You might wonder how they do that. By partnering directly with top factories and cutting out the cost of the middleman, which passes the savings right on to you. So you guys, give the gift of luxury this holiday season without the luxury price tag. Go to quince.com/Alex for 365 days returns plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/Alex to get free shipping on 365-day returns. Quince.com/Alex. Okay. So I was one time at this restaurant called Nick's in Laguna Beach. Great restaurant. And I was sitting, there's like 2 corner booths, right? And it's almost like they could work for one large party, you know, but like we were at one and then there was a family at another. Well, it wasn't a family. It was a mom, and she had taken out her daughter and then a daughter's friend for what seemed like a birthday dinner. And the mom started making like this like commotion. And the manager came over and she was like, there was a hair in my plate and I want the whole meal comped. And the manager was like, where's the hair? She's like, well, I obviously already got rid of it. And he was like, well, I kind of need to see the hair. And she was like, no, this is absurd. And like, you need, like, this is a nice restaurant. Like, I did not come here to have a hair in my meal, and you need to comp our entire meal. And I remember I got like really awkward. Anyways, the manager ended up actually asking them to just leave, because basically he was like, I need to see the hair. Like, if you're going to say that. And it was like a very awkward situation. Yeah. I just remember sitting beside it being like, what's happening? But basically, like, he didn't think, I think he thought she asked way too soon for like the entire meal to be comped.
I agree. And like, the hair does not justify a comped meal. I think the hair justifies just a new dish brought back. Not like, and not even comped. Like, it's a hair, because I would argue that a hair over half the time is from the person who ordered the dish.
Now, here's where I think it's nuanced, as you say. So like, the hair could be from the person that ordered the dish, unless I found a long black hair in mine.
But you have black hair in your head. Look at your head right now. There's
Hair's...
a ton of black going on.
You actually don't know what you're saying to a blonde when you say that? It's offensive.
Like, the girls are laughing. I see black. Like, you and Julie, you have some of Julie's hair color in there.
Yeah, Priscilla said you just broke a cardinal rule.
What's the rule?
Just like, don't say that to blondes.
Well, just get a little more paste on there next time.
Oh my God.
She does the paste, no?
Yes, she does the.
Yes,
yeah,
she can use a little more.
That's the equivalent of saying like, what's that the equivalent of saying? I can't think of anything right now.
I think your hair looks nice.
Thank you. I like my hair. Okay, but here's the point. I think that there are times where like the hair is like cooked in the meal. I'm imagining you have curry and it's like cooked in there. That's where I think you can call the manager over and be like, here's the hair and show. Like, I think you can definitely tell if it was yours or theirs. Here, my point is, at a nice restaurant, you just comp that dish and make them a new one. But to request right out of the gates without evidence of the hair that the whole meal be comped, I don't know. It seems a little fishy.
Yeah, for something as like meh as a hair.
Let's talk about Storyworth, because you guys know I'm obsessed with this gift. I gave it to my dad last year. Harrison gave it to his dad last year before Storyworth was even a sponsor. So you guys know I like truly am obsessed with this product. It's such a good Christmas gift. So if you want to give a gift to your loved one this year that makes them feel special and unique and share their relationship with you, give the gift of Storyworth. Each week, Storyworth emails your loved one a thought-provoking question that you get to help pick. So, for example, what's the bravest thing you've ever done? What's your favorite meal your mom made you growing up? Things like that. Then Storyworth makes the writing process easy, and your loved one gets the email prompt, and then they respond to the email. You see the email where they answer the prompt. Then at the end of the year, they make a book, like a keepsake book of all the answers and the prompts. It is the best ever. And they can respond with a link to email or just a short email. However their day's going, they can respond with whatever. So families love Storyworth. That's why more than 35,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot, with millions of stories preserved since they were founded over 10 years ago. So give the gift that keeps on going this Christmas of Storyworth. Go to storyworth.com/Alex and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/Alex and save $10 on your first purchase. And pro tip, this can be a last-minute gift, so don't sleep on Storyworth. I have a hard time getting over a hair, because if you ever swallowed a hair, half of it, and you like, have you ever?
Swallowed hair? You know how fast I eat. You think I'd notice if some hair got caught in there?
Oh, man. Because I've had one like halfway.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, it can be bad. And you pull it out. It's awful. So another story.
I inhale my food.
What happens when we pass IHOP? I explained to Harrison why I'm not going to IHOP, because one time we went to IHOP after, I think we used to have this thing where like you could spend the night out on the baseball fields in tents, okay? And we did that. And the next morning we went to IHOP, and one of my friends found a fake fingernail in her pancake. And I know you think I'm lying, but I'm not. And I've not been to IHOP since then.
But to me, like a fake fingernail, that is like, it's undisputable on whether it came from the kitchen or whether it came from the table, number one. And like, that's so extreme. That is a full meal comp, 100%.
That's a meal comp, and I think a gift card.
And a voucher, for sure.
A voucher.
A voucher.
Voucher.
I'm with you.
That's a voucher. But listen, like, I never went back. I'm telling people about the story.
I feel like I have some others. We, for a fantasy football league this year, the loser has to go to Waffle House and eat 24 waffles in 24. He needs to eat 24 waffles. Sorry, let me rephrase this. So the loser, who's Alex, needs to go to Waffle House. He needs to be at Waffle House for 24 hours. For every waffle he eats, he gets to reduce an hour. What do we think of that? It's like a pretty common fantasy football punishment.
Okay, so if he gets there and he eats 5 waffles, he has 19 hours.
18 hours left. Oh my goodness, 19. Yeah, 24 hours in a day. Sorry. Yep. Here we go.
19 hours. So if he gets there and he has 24 waffles, he can leave.
Yeah.
No, so if he... Otherwise, he just has to sit there?
Yeah.
For 24 hours?
Yeah.
They'll be open.
I'm considering going there with him and then helping him with the waffles.
I don't think you get to do that.
No?
No.
But I like hanging out with him so much, and that way I can help him do more waffles.
Have you had a Waffle House waffle?
I've done it like maybe 1 or 2 times, but they were so late that I couldn't tell you what they tasted like.
So I used to hold some serious court at Waffle House because it was the only restaurant we could walk to whenever I was, in the house we lived in for like 12 years. So Sydney and I would often walk, and I would get the all-star breakfast. And I would get it with, So that's the waffle with toast, eggs, bacon, and grits.
Yeah, I would love some sausage links right now.
But Waffle House and Waffle House for me is nostalgic and phenomenal establishment, and I highly recommend it. That batter, like, it hurts your stomach to a level that like shouldn't happen.
And Alex eats like a bird.
This
Like that guy, like he does not have 24 waffles in him.
and there's 24 waffles and there's 24 Waffle House
Alex
waffles.
eats he eats for taste. He doesn't eat to get full. It's unbelievable.
Oh no, something that
Yeah.
eats for taste. A Waffle House waffle is a bad recipe
Oh, I'm excited.
because I don't know. What's
So I'm
going
not
on.
allowed to go and help him?
No, and I don't know what's going on with that batter. It's not good. Well, it's so bad it's good, but only for one waffle. 24. If I were him, I would sit there the 24 hours. He should take his laptop. I doubt they have Wi-Fi, but hopefully he can hotspot.
Now, I don't know how this relates. But I don't know. What do you want to talk about next?
Well, let's talk about.
I feel like this like kind of relates to the concert little shtick that my buddy's been pulling off.
Let's talk about magnetic me because you guys, changing a newborn is like changing a cat. And it is incredibly hard. And when it comes to zippers and when it comes to those buttons, they'll truly become your worst enemy. So Harrison and I are constantly changing Tate into these magnetic me pajamas because they just quite literally magnet up. It's genius. And I even got a pair of pajamas for myself because whenever I'm breastfeeding or pumping, the magnets are so convenient. And as a mom of a little one, let me tell you, I love magnetic me. No wonder so many other moms gave me the gift of magnetic me pajamas for Tate because they are truly so easy and convenient, and they have the cutest prints ever. We just got this pink one with like little white birds on it. It is adorable. They have a variety of prints. There's something for every kid, and they have matching outfits for parents and kids, so the whole family can be in on it. And the fabric is so soft, and they just look adorable in them. So do what I did and make changing time easier for you and your baby so you can spend more time on the things you love. Order Magnetic Me today for yourself or as a great gift for any parent. Go to magneticme.com. New customers will get 15% off their first order. Don't wait. That's magneticme.com. Your buddy's been pulling it off?
That's how we found out about it.
How did I find out about what?
And I'm not going to say his name. But how went to the Taylor Swift concert for $100 floor seats.
Okay, and how do you do that?
So he went to this happened in LA, and he went down to SoFi Stadium early, and he went as close as he could to to the security gate action, and he found a security guard, and he just walked up to him and was like, "Hey man, I'll give you $100 if you can escort me into the stadium." And this guy just escorted him right to the floor.
Well, where did he sit?
On the floor.
But aren't there assigned seats on the floor?
He got him a wristband and he tucked in.
So if you find a security guard you can pay off that will take the $100, he can take you down.
This is what my buddy has done on more than one occasion.
No way.
Yeah.
But you got to find the right guy that accepts it.
Yeah, but if you go up to someone, the way it's explained to me is you go up to them and it's like, "Hey man, here's $100. Will you take me down into the stadium and on the floor?" They can just say no, and then you just go on to the next one.
Yeah, and then especially if it's one of those where it's not assigned seats, like what is that, general admission on the floor though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's a real banger, and then you get the wristband.
Yeah.
But don't they need to? So you got to go early, and you got to be down to wait it out, which is fine because it's such good people watching people come into a concert. It's a really brilliant tip.
Yeah, I've not done that, but
it's a really good tip. Let's try it.
no, not a chance.
Why?
Because
You're a ticket snob. I think you just need to say that.
I am a ticket snob. I am. But I also like comfort. I don't like looking over my shoulder.
Well, I do like it, the comfort of an assigned seat, knowing that I'm okay to sit there.
Yeah, totally.
So I like that, last episode you kind of told us some stories from abroad. Did you ever go to a concert abroad?
I mean, of course.
What did you go to?
Bieber did a private concert in Hong Kong. Yeah, I feel like there must have been 250, 200 people there.
Ooh.
That was sweet. And that was like in the crux of his like music making time. I think I have a picture on Instagram.
People forget that. Well, number one, I think Justin Bieber's like super talented. But number two, like he had a rough, like if you keep looking at your phone, which I've told you multiple times, I can't
I
focus,
need to be
but
able
I
to
can't-
check the agenda, Alex.
But Harrison, I also check the agenda, but I don't think you see me checking it. You do it. You check Instagram, your text messages, and then the agenda, and call it agenda checking. It's not fun to talk to myself.
Bubber, can you defend me here, please?
No, because she knows I'm right.
Okay.
You're not even checking the agenda. Open your phone. Show it to me. Yeah. Okay, exactly. Text messages, email. You're not even on the notes app is the Instagram. You asshole. Yeah, the notes app is not even. I didn't even see what the third one was, like Slack or something. Your fantasy league, I'll bet.
No. I'm with you.
Well, no, I don't even know what I was talking about now because you're checking
Your
something.
eyebrows look great.
I got new eyebrow stuff. Thank you.
You were saying something.
Little tip for any guy out there whenever, his girl is just kind of getting mad, just go right for the eyebrows. Just tell them they look great.
Especially if you know they got new eyebrow cream. Now, here's my tip for you ladies that I've recently realized. So yesterday, we were over at our friend's house and like doing a bunch of things. But Tate needed a bottle. But also we had a birthday cake and the birthday cake needed to be cut. And so I didn't want to give Tate the bottle. So I offered up a worse job. So basically Tate started crying and I said, oh, I'll give her the bottle. And then I said, but Harrison, you got to cut the birthday cake, knowing he would trade me. And then he said, I'll give her the bottle. You cut the birthday cake. So if you offer up something else that needs to be done, like I'll give her the bottle, but you sweep the floors. He'll be like, no, I'll give her the bottle.
Yeah, it was. You got me. You
Yeah.
totally got me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you give her the bottle, but then you got to clean out the fridge. He'll swap you.
Yeah.
Yep, every time. It's my new thing. We changed the sheets. Nope. Imagine. Have you ever changed sheets?
I think the biggest difference in ratio between men and women is how often women change the sheet versus how often men change the sheets.
Woman. Women. Say it with me. Women.
Women.
Yeah, I think that. So before me, did you ever change your sheets?
Like as a single dude? Yeah.
How often?
Enough.
Well, how often is enough?
Enough.
Like what? Like once every 3 months?
No.
Less?
Way more.
Okay, so like once a month. Once a week?
I would think twice a month.
That's a lot for a guy. Yeah. And did you change pillowcases?
Had more leniency on that.
Why do I have a feeling that you just ordered new sheets and didn't like wash them and do you have 2 pairs of sheets that you would use?
No, I think I had 4.
4?
Yeah.
Wow. That's actually like it's a lot for a guy. Surprising. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Should we talk about the new thing we learned?
Yeah, what is it?
Dream feeding.
Dream beating. How did we not know? I guess we just didn't know.
I wonder, is this like allowed? Is this something that people do, or is this like I want to learn more?
Oh no, I think dream feeding is totally allowed because there's no reason it wouldn't be. So basically dream feeding is at 10 o'clock when you need to wake up the baby to feed them so they make it through the night. While they're still sleeping, before they wake up crying and they're hungry, you put the bottle in their mouth and they just drink it while they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, the internet seems to be fully for dream feeding. Basically, it just gives them a longer sleeping stretch without waking them up.
Love it. Yeah, we're big dream feeding people for the past 12 hours.
Yeah, we did it one time, and we're going to do it.
As long as she keeps liking it.
Yeah, the dream feeding, though, I think is a really good thing. I don't know. There's so many things in parenting that, like, you can easily just miss. Like, we weren't taking advantage of the pacifier the first, like, 3 weeks. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like the dream feed, it's just like, that's a huge game changer. And you just like kind of miss them. So that's the current situation.
Okay. What else do we want to talk about on this week's episode of Just Alex?
I don't sound like that.
What other parenting bits are we on right now?
Well, I was trying to figure out if we tip babysitters or not.
100%. That's like a crazy thought.
Really?
You didn't tip our babysitter?
Well, I asked my mom's group on Instagram, like, do we tip babysitters? And I got a lot of DMs, and they were saying, overall, no, you don't tip the babysitter. You do tip the babysitter if they're through an agency where they don't get 100% of the money. Also, a girl DM'd me saying, I am a babysitter, and I often do work around the house while the babies sleep, like clean up, so I appreciate the tip.
I think that you go two options. Either one, you tip, or two, you order them dinner.
Oh, I love that. And how much you tip? 20%?
Yeah, I'd assume so. I haven't even thought about it. You've been handling all that. No wonder our babysitters don't come back.
No, I actually tipped the first two.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm supportive of that.
Yeah. Yeah. The first one, yeah, they got tips. They got good tips, actually. We tried to go to a bar, and they wouldn't let Bubber in. They wouldn't let her in because they said it's 21 and over. And we were just looking at them like, she can't talk. Like, what do you think about that? Is that a way of just saying, like, we don't want kids crying?
Yeah.
I'm actually good with it. She was like dead asleep, and she's clearly a newborn. So I did just think, like, let's let the baby in. But yeah, it's happened to us twice now.
I'm quite hungry.
Okay, let's do a listener question then.
Okay.
And then you can eat, because guess who else is hungry?
Bubs.
Our little girly pop. Eating a lot today. Okay, so someone DM'd me this listener question, and I actually want people to start DMing questions like this, and we'll do them on the pod. So, hi, I'm a first-time mom, and I'm starting to feel really isolated at home. I want to get out and do things that make me feel productive, something like going to the grocery store while my husband is at work. But my father-in-law insists I should wait until my baby is 2 months old and gets all her shots. She's 2 weeks old now, and while I don't want to do anything that could harm her, I'm also feeling a little stir-crazy. I see you take your baby out and about. When did you know it was okay to start taking her out, and how did you handle all the advice from others while dealing with your own anxiety?
I'd love to hear what you think about this.
I think, you always say, don't share advice, share experiences, which I think is really applicable here because, like, there's a lot of opinions coming at you on the internet, like we see all the time, right? And then a lot of family and friends have opinions. And I think the first thing that you and I decided on was, like, we'll make the decisions on the babe, right? When it comes to Tater, like, you and I will ultimately make the decisions, but we're open-minded skeptics with advice that people give us. So, like, happy to poll the audience and see what people think and then filter it through our own systems and be like, okay, this is what's best for her. So for me, when it came to taking her out and about, there were places I was comfortable taking her, and there were places I wasn't. So, like, the store for me, I was fine going with her because we walked to the grocery store, and then I don't feel like we're sitting in one spot with her. So that to me felt pretty germ friendly, and like I was good with it. But that was my own gut check.
And I also think, like, we're surrounded with a lot of parents with a lot of different parenting styles, and so we've been lucky to see, like, parents live, things very tight and very strict, and we've seen parents living things more open, and then kind of seeing all the different ways people are doing, and then kind of using those to morph how we do it and what you're comfortable with. But what I've also seen from my end is, like, obviously you love routine and you love being home, but it also feels like when I see your, like, mental state at its best is when there is, an activity outside of the house, and whether that is a walk around the trail or, as you said, going to the grocery store or taking her to somewhere else. Like, it feels like that does, put a bit of a pop in your step. So, yeah, we built our little circle of people that we rely on, and obviously bounce a lot off our pediatrician, and are finding
Like one example is people keep telling us we have her in the carrier wrong. And so we called our pediatrician. We took the pediatrician comes here. We got all 3 carriers out and we showed her how we put her in there. She said the most important thing is that her hips are in the shape of an M and then her head is supported. We also Googled it. It said
and she has an active airway.
Yes, an active airway. And online said the exact same things. And then you look up hip development, her legs need to be in an M. So like we polled a couple people and then we feel really good about what we decided to do with that, you know? Yeah. So it's like, we don't take one person's piece of advice as like Bible. We do throw a few in the mixing bowl and then we make our own salad out of it.
Yeah. And then the same thing with traveling. Like we've done it a couple times. We now see, hey, it is an event. Takes a lot of time, takes a lot of resources, takes a lot of effort. So like the bar is high for us to travel, but we will definitely do it for the right trip.
Yeah, like we didn't need to go to LA, but we needed to go to LA. And so we're like, this is worth it and we'll do it. But like, would we go to Nashville right now for fun? No, because traveling it's hard with her.
Exactly.
Okay, so yes, feel free to DM the Just Alex pod account if you guys have more questions because we'd love to go through them. And until next week, we love you guys.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, guys, thanks for listening to another episode of Just Alex, powered by Just Media House. If you enjoyed the show, which I think you did because you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. All of those things are so important. Stay connected on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at Just Alex Pod. Post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Just Alex Pod by Gideon Shawkin and Denisha. I'm Just Alex, you're just you. Let's keep doing this thing. New episodes every Thursday.